WrestleMania 41 Night 1 review. I'm Will, that's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. As always, let's cheers. Talk about some wrestling,
Yeah, Night 1. We're going to break these into 2 reviews, obviously. Our first WrestleMania as a podcast together, so kind of a special one, and it really delivered to the hype through Night 1.
There's a reason this belt is sitting here. It's because on our live stream, we do have a belt raffle going on for Night 1, Night 2. At the end of Night 2, we'll be giving this bad boy away. Thank you to all of you who came and donated. It made the night spectacular. YouTube.com/@CodWrestlePod. But let's get into this one.
There's a lot to get into.
Triple H started the show, as one does. He said, "Welcome to WrestleMania." Boom, boom, fireworks, boom, bang.
I thought he said, "Did you know I'm in the Hall of Fame?"
Did you know I'm in the Hall of Fame? Jey Uso and Gunther started this match, or started this night. Jey Uso came from the crowd, and the crowd was ready to yeet. That was the right decision, the right call from WrestleMania, from wrestling, WWE, to make this the start of WrestleMania. Everybody wanted this for months. We said they should start the show. They did it. It worked out. Gunther came out all mad. Jey Uso got his grand entrance. The set of Mania is crazy good. It's crazy good. All the good stuff happens here, but Jey would start the match out with one mentality: I ain't scared of you. Gunther was coming at him, but Jey was just not backing down from anything. He was taking every chop, everything Gunther had, and he was doing it with a smile on his face. Jey would actually hit Gunther with a spear pretty early in the match, kind of set the tone, get a 1-2 there. Gunther would kind of snap out of it, right? Get back to his normal self. Superplex Jey, drop kicks. Dinosaur drop kicks is what we're calling Gunther's drop kick now. I like the name.
And I like the drop kick.
He got a power bomb off, got the 1-2 there. Jey would reverse some power bombs, get some spears, get some splash, 1-2 there as well. Throughout the match, Gunther would get sleeper holds locked in. He was chopping the hell out of Jey, man. I mean, he was really making Jey earn this one. But again, Jey was just laughing through it all. They would do the good old battle of the wills where they were punching back and forth, chopping back and forth, taking everything, giving everything. Eventually, though, Jey would power bomb Gunther, which is a role reversal here, obviously, and then give him one super kick, followed up with a spear. Then go up to one side, give him a splash, get up, go to another corner of the ring, give Gunther another splash, get up, go to the other corner. Gunther's now rolled over, splash to his back, and we're all sitting there like, why is he not pinning him? Gunther's even slowly crawling up after a spear, super kick, 3 splashes. Jey walks over and puts Gunther in a headlock, sleeper hold, just like Gunther always does. And Gunther taps out. Jey Uso celebrates. Jimmy Uso comes out there. We get Jimmy presenting the World Heavyweight Championship to Jey Uso. Jey does it. He makes Gunther tap out. Yeet Mania is officially here. And honestly, I couldn't be happier. It was great. Popping the hell out of it.
Yeah, we had said that we wanted this to open, and I think a lot of people were kind of like that. You go get the yeets out of the way as long as you do the right thing. And then people are like, well, what if Gunther actually squashes Yeet Mania? As you could tell right away, like the crowd reaction, the music hits, the yeets hit, and you're like, oh yeah, Jey's winning this. Jey, there's no chance. The match was really good. I really enjoyed the match with the story about Jey not really backing down. You know, he did say like, I'm worried about what I'm going to do to you. He makes Gunther tap out, which is something that I didn't have on my bingo card. I don't think anybody had on their bingo card. So he did what he said he was going to do. He kind of gets that revenge for his brother. He's in the rightful spot as a champion. This was the right call. It's the perfect start to a night. And you're just like, okay, here we go. I'm buckled up. I'm ready to go. Special shout out to JT, one of our members here, one of our community members is there, and Jey actually walked right by him.
Yeah.
So shout out to JT. Lucky you.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, but this was the perfect beginning to WrestleMania. It's exactly what we wanted. Yeet Mania to start it all off. And honestly, it felt more like closure than I expected. Like Jey making him submit with the sleeper hold. It's like, okay, there's nothing that could really, there's no story from there on out. Like, that's over. Gunther even cheated throughout the match. I think I forgot to talk about that, but Gunther cheated throughout the match. He used the belt on Jey, hit him in the head. So like Gunther was cheating. Jey stood all the way up against all odds on that. Still did it. Made him tap. Like that storybook's closed. So we're getting Jey Uso as champion. World Heavyweight Champion reign. Here we come. Jey Uso, yeeting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
Perfect start. And like you said, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really expect to see a whole lot after this. It's like, all right, we got what we got.
There was so much good on this card tonight that I don't really want to dwell on this match very much. We will mention it. It was the tag team title match. War Raiders took on New Day. Nothing really against the match, okay? They did their thing here. War Raiders looked very strong. They started the match off. I think Eric powerbombed Ivar off the apron into both the New Day members. Eric was like Ivar was doing like the crossbody into the apron.
I always like that spot.
Yeah, it's always good stuff. Both teams have good stuff here. They're decent tag teams, but the story just wasn't there to back this. The crowd just got done yeeting for 30 minutes. So they were completely silent throughout this. So the combination of no story and no crowd reaction left this match feeling like a total dud, in my opinion. At the very end of it, though, we would get Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods attacking both of their necks. That was the thing. They were going after the necks of the War Raiders. I know Eric had neck surgery. I don't know about Ivar, but they were acting like his neck was hurt as well. They eventually hit their finisher on Ivar. And then as Woods is pinning Ivar, Kofi gets out of the ring and holds Ivar's foot down so he can't kick out. 1, 2, 3. New Day gets the win here. They're the tag team champions. I just hope for the best for the Raw tag team division in 2025 to 2026 because it's awful right now. Maybe this can be a jump start to that, but I am going to go ahead and drop this. I don't think it needed to be on the card. I wasn't interested in it. I didn't really care about it. Sorry if that's being harsh.
No, I don't think it's being harsh at all. I do think it is in a tough spot because you do have to follow Yeet Mania. And that's why they put it right here. There's also rumors that like the Clash of Clans sponsorship is the reason why they had this. And like, okay, that is what it is, I guess. It was a match. At the end of the day, New Day get the win here. Heel New Day get a win, get a title reign here that we were kind of hoping originally was going to happen. Now we get to see what that's like. I mean, it can't be any worse than what the Raw tag division's been over the last year. So hopefully we get something good out of this.
Dropping it?
Yeah, I don't know anybody that would pop this.
Jade and Naomi were up next. Heated rivalry. We're looking forward to it. Jade got a pretty sweet entrance where it was a corny weather program. They had like a weather forecast from Las Vegas and the storm was coming. And
Naomi had a cool one too.
Naomi had a cool
tape. Yeah,
there was caution tape. She ran through it. There were some good entrances throughout the night, but Jade would attack right away, right? She was pissed off. They were mad at each other. Obviously, they wanted to get their hands on each other. Jade would dominate most of the match until Naomi would start to cheat. She'd poke Jade right in the eye and then get to work. Eventually, though, Jade would catch Naomi, who was doing like a top rope spear. Mm-hmm. Naomi kind of launched herself at Jade from the top rope in a spear position, and Jade caught her in a suplex position and stood her up like it was nothing and jackhammered her. 1, 2, ooh. Holy, was that amazing.
Well, you think that's amazing. She's not done yet.
Yeah. Then she picks her up again, fall away slams her. Great stuff. Naomi would eventually get some more offense and she'd do a top rope bulldog to her, split leg moonsault, get the 1, 2, ooh. But then the match, one of the spots of the night happens, really. Naomi has the Rings of Saturn on Jade, a submission move. Jade is able to pick her up in a seated position, straight up in the air, and then pops her up and twists her entire body, twists Naomi's body in the air, catches her into a sitting power bomb, and then picks her up, hits the Jaded. 1, 2, 3. Jade Cargill defeats Naomi with one of the best in spots of the night. We really wanted to see Naomi win this, but we don't blame them for picking Jade. We think the story is going to continue. I loved it. Popping it.
Yeah, I'm going to pop this as well. I was really excited for this match. Yeah. I thought early on you could tell, like, okay, Naomi's going to go out there and she's really the perfect person to have with Jade for this match. Like, some people a little bit worried about Jade's in-ring ability. Is she able to kind of be up to the standard that WWE has? Well, Naomi made her look fantastic tonight. I mean, Jade also had those feats of strength that you're like, okay, this is ridiculous. Come on now. Like, no human should be able to do this stuff. But Naomi sold her butt off as well for Jade. Fantastic stuff. This match was really good. So I'm going to pop it. I am curious to see kind of what happens now. I don't know if this is just kind of like a final. Like, it is weird to have the one match and that be that. So I'm assuming we don't. I'm assuming we'll circle back around to it. But it was a pretty decisive win though for Jade. I mean, you did say Naomi got some offense in, but it was decisive for Jade.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to stand by my opinion. I would have liked to see Naomi win this because I think it's much more interesting if we're going to continue the story, if the heel would get a heelish win at WrestleMania and we can continue it that way. But, with Bianca being up in the air and maybe coming back to SmackDown in one way, shape, or form, and maybe getting involved in this again as she did last SmackDown, and then whatever happens on night 2 of WrestleMania, maybe we get something there. I think that's what the story's obviously got to head now that Jade won, because she beat Naomi clean here. There was no shenanigans. So very excited for Jade because she looked great in the ring. Naomi obviously is looking spectacular as ever. Her character does not lose any steam from this. So just looking forward to more, honestly. U.S. title match was up next. LA Knight, Jacob Fatu. If you watched our live stream, you missed this one because we had some technical difficulties. But we did go back, catch some highlights of it, and it was an LA Knight fest to start the show. He was destroying Jacob Fatu for a lot of the match, going after his legs, basically going too fast for Jacob Fatu to catch up to, until Jacob Fatu caught up to him. And he was going absolutely wild until he went for one of his good old-fashioned moonsaults, and LA Knight caught him with a BFT while he was mid-moonsault. Incredible, but 1-2. Jacob grabs the rope with his hand. Really cool spot. I mean, he nailed it. He didn't miss it at all. It was really, really good. But eventually, Jacob Fatu would be too much for LA Knight. Hit him with 2 more moonsaults. 1, 2, 3. Jacob Fatu is your new United States champion. No Solo Sikoa shenanigans in the match. But naturally, that's probably where we go after this, right? I popped the hell out of it.
Yeah, I'm going to pop this as well. 2 fan favorites. And you kind of look at this match and you go back to it and we talked about like the tag title match, for instance. It felt like at times throughout the night, the crowd was like, okay, let's just wait to get to like the main event, was kind of what the feeling was, because that is such a great time. This match stood out though. The crowd reaction for both sides, the support for both of them. Fantastic match. I probably put it at the second best match of the night for night 1. I obviously put the main event first. We'll get to that. And then I probably put this one. And then you could probably pencil in the other ones. But good stuff here. LA Knight's really increased in the ring. It's really fun to actually watch him now in the ring instead of just on the mic. Fatu is a star. He is a freight train that is unstoppable. And it's kind of like his in-ring. Like, you can't keep this guy down. Like, you can't deny the talent of Jacob Fatu. He is a star. So he gets that United States Championship. And now hopefully we get him versus Solo down the line. Solo seemed very supportive in the entrance. Like, let's go get this. Let's go get it for the family. And he seems to be that way. But I think we all know that's just not how it's going to be.
Yeah, I love LA Knight. Love Jacob Fatu. Love both to absolute death. Was very happy to see LA Knight beat Shinsuke and go into Mania as the champion. That was necessary. But it's time. It was time to give Jacob Fatu, this up-and-coming rising star in WWE. I know he has a past, but in WWE, he's a brand new guy, basically, and he's extremely over, and he deserves his title. And I think that him and Solo will really have a great story that will bring the mid-card title belts back into, like, story land, because right now they're kind of just matches are kind of being thrown together for the mid-card titles. So we'll bring them back into storyland where we have some good stuff behind the matches that are happening. So I can't wait for it. Don't know what they're going to do with LA Knight, but Fatu's champ, and I like it.
Yeah, and with LA, before we move on, like, LA's one of those guys you don't necessarily have to have a plan for, because he is so good on the mic that he's going to go out there and he's going to cut a promo on somebody and you're going to be like, oh, this is pretty awesome. I want to see this.
Yeah.
So I'm not really worried about him, but we'll see.
Not worried at all. Before the WrestleMania, during the pre-show today, WWE announced they were buying AAA. And we got ourselves a lucha match tonight, but Mr. Rey Mysterio was hurt last night on SmackDown. We don't know the extent of his injury yet, but he announced before the show today that Rey Phoenix will be taking his spot. Brand new Rey Phoenix, guy who's very over right now, obviously. So everybody kind of had a natural progression in their head, like 1 + 1 = 2 here, probably going to get the win. So it was Rey Phoenix versus El Grande Americano.
Rey for Rey.
Yeah, Rey for a Rey. And before the match, Grande would get into a tussle with a fan. Wasn't a fan, though. It was El Viking. I always forget his name.
Hijo del Vikingo.
Yeah, Vikingo. Absolutely great.
We are butchering the
pronunciation.
We can't pronounce names, okay?
But the whole point of El Grande is he's disrespecting the luchadors, right? So he comes out, but they're back and forth, flying around this ring.
Even the entrance. The entrance, they come out and they all have the mask and they're all playing. I mean, just wild.
El Grande's entrance, there's like a bunch of them and they're playing, whatever they're playing. And the screen has a filter on it to where it looks like the AI videos that they made of him. It's just crazy. Anyway, match would start. They're back and forth, just high flying maniacs, right? And Rey Phoenix would do like a top rope cross body to the outside on El Grande. Grande would get back in the ring, belly to belly suplex Rey into the ropes, which was absolutely nuts. Grande will go to the top rope, turn around, and not do a moonsault. Do a backwards 450 and just nail it.
Like a
perfect
450 like senton.
Yeah, senton.
Basically. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Get to 1-2 there, and then he starts doing all the mean stuff where he starts to try to remove Rey Phoenix's mask. And when he does that, Rey Phoenix is trying to put the mask back on. Ref goes over to see if he's good with it, and you see Mr. Grande getting a piece of metal, putting it in his mask. And when he does that, he tries to go for a headbutt, but Rey Phoenix is like, no, I've seen this before. But he forgets because he goes for the drive-by amigo on the rope. That's where he runs the top rope and boots you in the face. But when he boots El Grande in the face, hits the metal, hurts my foot. He goes, ow. And so Rey can't get anything, and he's limping around, and Grande's like, I'm gonna take advantage of this. Puts him in the ankle lock. Must have learned that from Kurt Angle and Chad Gable. So anyway, puts him in the ankle lock, gets out of that, ends up doing a flying headbutt to Rey Phoenix, and gets the win here. 1, 2, 3. So we do have El Grande Americano get the win over Rey Phoenix, who replaced Rey Mysterio. The legend of El Grande continues. I pop it.
Yeah, I'm going to pop this as well. This was great. We were really concerned and pretty sad, to be honest, when Rey Mysterio gets hurt, because that's a terrible situation. And we had both picked Rey to win. Yep. And so you look at it and you look at the way this match unfolded, look at the way it kind of got called, kind of impromptu on the spot a little bit, because you don't have as much time to obviously work together. I think Rey Mysterio wins this match if Rey is in it. But he doesn't. He's not in there. So, tough luck, I guess. So you look at it, the match was phenomenal. You got Rey Phoenix in there, who you strap a rocket to that guy, just like Penta. I mean, they're both phenomenal. El Grande, once again, showing why he's a lucha legend, a real student of the game, like you said, with the ankle lock. He gets the win here. He gets the headbutt, and I was like 1, 2, and then they actually hit 3, and I said, oh my God, okay, they gave him it. So we're going to continue this fastest rising star in WWE, fastest rising legend in WWE is going to continue that. So we'll see what happens next.
It's supposed to piss you off, right? That's the point. It's supposed to piss you off. WWE just bought AAA. They're going to have a bunch of luchadors to play with here. They already do have some great luchadors to play with, but they're going to have even more now. They're going to have El Grande running around, pissing off luchadors for the next few months or whatever, however long they want to do it. And eventually the moment's going to come where we find out who El Grande Americano is, and it's going to be spectacular. I was totally fine with El Grande getting the win here. Let's continue it. He's a fun heel to be around going out of Mania. Rey Phoenix, Penta, they're going to be on him. Dragon Lee. It's going to be a good story. It's going to pay off. I'm okay with this.
Yeah, and with the crossover now that you're going to get, I mean, they even announced an event. I believe it's in early June.
Yeah, Worlds Collide.
Yeah, so you can have that. I mean, you can have that be another spot. Like, he can just continue to kind of keep doing this. So it's a fun, like, good storyline. Like, I understand it's supposed to piss people off, and it does its job. It really does. Just really speaks to how good El Grande really is.
Yeah, he's the best. He's the best. Women's WWE Championship match. Tiffany, Stratton, Charlotte Flair. A disappointing feud, but everybody thought they're going to do it in the ring. And I think that they did it pretty damn well. Tiffany Stratton got a phenomenal entrance.
It was cool.
They turned the set into a Barbie dream house, and there was 3 Barbies on set, and she was in the middle, and then they had 2 screens of her in other outfits doing Tiffy time and all this other stuff. It was really good. Charlotte got a good entrance too. She came out in a Rolls Royce. The whole stage was iced out in diamonds.
You've seen one Charlotte Flair entrance, so you've seen them all.
She didn't get as much pyro this year though.
No, still pyro.
Not as much.
Still pyro.
But they obviously have personal problems, so they spill out of the ring ASAP. Tiffany would start sending Charlotte in the ring post, all this good stuff. The story of the match here was Tiffany ended up attacking the knee, the injured knee, previously an injured and repaired knee of Charlotte Flair, and Charlotte returned the favor by injuring Tiffany's knee. She was like, "I got a knee for a knee."
Not only her knee, but her tooth.
Yeah, she got Tiff on something, chipped her tooth. Tiff was bleeding. But we were doing all the good stuff here. Charlotte we ended up putting a Boston Crab on her at some point. We got multiple spine busters from Tiffany. One where she threw it. I mean, Charlotte's head bounced off the canvas. It was absolutely nuts. Eventually, though, we would get just a bunch of all the good stuff. So Charlotte figure 4, Tiff would get out of it and start attacking the knee again. She'd hit the moonsault, or she'd go for a moonsault, but Charlotte would get her knees up. But because the knee was being attacked all match, ow, that hurt me too. My knee hurts. And that's when Charlotte would start talking that smack. Basically, she was saying, I'm hurt and I'm still better than you, doing all the bad heel work here. But that would eventually piss Tiffany Stratton off to the point where she gets the Alabama slam right into the corner. And then she'd get her rolling senton, set her up for the moonsault, and hit the moonsault. 1, 2, 3. WWE did it. They didn't let Charlotte Flair go over. Tiffany Stratton remains your WWE champion. Charlotte has done the job for Tiff in a great match. I know the feud wasn't liked, but the match lived up to the hype in my opinion. I loved it. Popping it.
Yeah, I'm going to pop this as well. Now, if you're going to sit there and talk about Charlotte's previous Mania matches, it's not Charlotte versus Rhea. I mean, but that's arguably like the greatest women's match of all time. But this match was good. Yeah. This match was really good. I'd give it like a 4, maybe 4 out of 5. Like, it was good. It was enjoyable. They both had similar gear, which we talked about a little bit. Like, Tiffany is kind of the next Charlotte, which I think was kind of the original plan of the feud, and then they kind of lost it, right? Yep. We don't have to go over the feud. We don't have to revisit that. The match was really good. You made a great point in our live stream that while Tiffany maybe struggles a little bit on the mic, like what she struggles on the mic with, she makes up for in the ring. I mean, she's phenomenal. She went with Charlotte. She kept right up with Charlotte. It was a great match. Tiffany getting the win here is kind of like a relieving feeling. It's kind of like, okay, thank God they did it. Tiffany came out first. I was a little bit nervous at that point. Charlotte came out second. She got the pyro, you're like, oh dear God, they're about to do this. Please don't do this. And they didn't. They made the right call. At the end of the day, a rough feud has a great ending here. Both of them were professional. It was a really good match. I know some people were worried. Are they going to be able to put on a good match because of how personal some things have been? But shout out to both of them. And now we really get Tiffy time to kind of be established. Now she can kind of hold that title, hang her hat on like, okay, look, yeah, I did just win it from a cash in, but I've beaten Charlotte Flair now.
Relief is a good word to use in this situation. Very relieved that WWE did it because I think it would have been a big step back to have the feud be bad and the decision to just go back to Charlotte again. That would have been a bad combination for me, but they did the right thing, which Charlotte's a part of that. So give Charlotte her flowers. Not only did she do the job, but I think she let Tiffany be great in the match. Tiffany looks phenomenal. I agree that Tiffany, what she can't do on a mic, she can do 10 times more in the ring. I mean, she is a one-of-one talent in the ring. It's incredible. I'm looking forward to the reign of Tiffany. I think that we need to just have her be the grounds in which people get called up and we face Tiffany. That should be the young feuds of up-and-comers that deserve those sort of matches on SmackDown. Get your Chelseas working with her. Get your people like that. So they made the right decision. I'm looking forward to it. And thank God it's still Tiffy time. But now, the big one.
The big one is maybe an understatement. Now, you may be sitting here being like, oh, well, they didn't go on too much about some of these matches. They didn't go super in-depth on some of these matches. Well, I mean, we could talk for hours and hours and hours. But we're trying to save as much time as we can for this bad boy.
This is going to be hard to freaking recap, man. This was cinema. This was in-ring. This was incredible. This was Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, the first ever CM Punk main event of WrestleMania in history, which is hard to believe. The last time he even competed at WrestleMania was 2013. Holy Jesus. And they all got entrances galore. Seth Rollins had a double entrance where he came out with the burn it down and he had a flamethrower and he was burning down the set and then all the lights went out. The Undertaker showed up. No.
I will say I was nervous because like you said earlier, we did have some technical difficulties at one point and I said, oh dear God,
yeah,
not now. Please don't do it.
Screen went black and then it popped back on and it was Messiah Rollins and he was in his full white and it's Easter weekend. He was even doing the Jesus thing. He had the thorns in his hair. I mean, dude was going full Messiah on Easter weekend. That kind of led to the, you look at me and we're like, oh, well, you can't have him lose now.
You can't.
Smart
choice by him to use that as his attire,
Roman Reigns came out alone for the first time in years in WrestleMania. No Paul Heyman. His entrance was great as well. He had He just looked good, man. He was lean. He looked good. It was cool.
He looked good. They had these hanging Tron pieces,
Yes.
and they had like members of the bloodline flashing up on there, like Sika and Alpha and Rikishi and all those guys. I mean, it was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
It did feel naked though.
Yeah.
Like it felt weird. He looked good, black and white attire with some new gloves, but he felt naked.
Yeah, without his wise man.
Mhm.
But he was wearing his Ulafala.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, when CM Punk came out, we got a video package. I mean, it was a callback. He was redoing one of his most famous promos from when he was young in the WWE, and they had his old theme song playing, and they showed clips of him and Paul from years ago, and it was like the best of Punk throughout all of his career, and he was ready for his moment, WrestleMania, and he came out, and Living in Color, I think is what they're called, was playing Cult of Personality live. Paul Heyman was with them, all tanned up with the black hair, with the white on that. It looked like Paul Heyman from back in the day.
It looked like Punk back in the day with the hoodie and the yellow gear, and he's singing along, and you're like, oh man.
And Paul Heyman grabbed his wrist and said, "What time? It's clobbering time."
Show him the watch. And, oh my God. All the feels, and we hadn't even started yet.
Roman when we get to the ring, Roman's already pissed looking at Paul, and before the match starts, Roman has to take off the Ulafala, and he's looking at Paul, and he doesn't trust Paul, and he doesn't want to put the Ulafala on the ground, but he chooses to put the Ulafala on the ground instead of giving it to Paul. Cinema was to be had already in this match. And again, it's going to be hard to do it justice when it comes to just the ins and out of the wrestling that happened here, because it was phenomenal too. Not only, a lot of people said that this match was going to be all cinema, no wrestling. It wasn't the case. They put on a show here as well. Roman would take out everybody right away. They all spill into the crowd. I mean, they were hitting each other with chairs. This is a triple threat match, so they don't have any rules. And when Punk and Rollins were in the crowd, Roman came and dove over the barricade.
Dude, he did that. He cleared it.
Yeah.
Like it throwback to like Roman. It's been a long time since I've seen Roman Reigns do that move where he flies like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Roman, you said it early on, Roman came to play tonight.
Yeah, he did.
In terms of the selling, the flipping, I mean, he launched us the steps. He was throwing shots. He was working stiff. The character was so good.
I mean, we were getting everything. He was tearing up furniture. He's being pissed. He was throwing everybody into stairs and all this good stuff. And then, all the good stuff happened. I mean, there was a portion of this match where it became finisher fest. Everybody was getting hit with finishers here and there and there. So you'd have, and it was always 1, 2, 3. It was a domino effect. It was like Punk would GTS Seth Rollins, and then Punk would get speared by Roman, and then Roman would get stomped by Rollins. It was always dominoing here and there, and most of the damage was being taken by Roman. He took a few finishers here, and so did Seth Rollins, and they were kind of kicking out of everything, which I understand when people get a little bit angry about that, but you know what? It was working for me tonight. It was pretty damn good.
When they don't do it all the time, right? It's different to me, at least. Like, I'm like, okay, I can pass. And the story is so good that coming into the match and then throughout the match that I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I don't.
And one part of it that's happening that not a lot of people notice is that Paul Heyman is doing spectacular work on the outside of the ring. He's reacting to every punch Roman takes. He's reacting to every punch Punk takes. Every time one of them gets pinned, he's sitting there,
and he's yelling at Seth at points too. And I mean, Paul, once again, is just top notch.
There comes a point, though, where enough is enough for Seth Rollins, and he walks over to Roman, and he's like, you are doing the wrong thing here. He took your wise man. Look, he is the problem, and he's trying to get Roman back on his side. And he takes out Punk to the outside and clears an announce table, and he's calling for Roman to do the shield bomb. And Roman looks over at him, goes over, and he starts doing he's pumping it up like he's going to do a shield bomb. Nah, he uppercuts the hell out of Seth Rollins.
I'm sitting here yelling. I'm like, yeah, please.
He picks up CM Punk, power bombs him, I guess shield bombs him by himself through one announce table, goes over to the other announce table, clears that one, power bombs Seth Rollins through that announce table.
There's debris everywhere. He's yelling at Seth. He's looking at Seth. He's looking at Paul. Roman Reigns, like we talk about the aura, and we hate that term, and I understand that. It's unmatched. It really is unmatched.
I mean, we've seen Roman Reigns, tribal chief at another level. There was something about tonight's match where he was just feeling himself. He was in another stratosphere tonight. I thought it was like his best Mania match by a mile, in my opinion. Anyway,
There's been a lot. I'd have to sit there and think, but yeah.
We get to a point though where that great another moment of dominoes happen. So Punk GTS's Seth Rollins, but he GTS's him toward the ropes to where he kind of is like bouncing up against the rope. So after he GTS's Rollins, Roman spears CM Punk, and then Rollins stomps Roman. And all of them are out now. They're all laying down, and it's Seth Rollins on the other side of the ring, and then you have Punk and Roman, who are about 6-7 feet away from each other in the middle of the ring, and Paul Heyman, it's time for him to make a decision. And he goes over, he grabs a chair, and he has the chair, and he looks Roman Reigns dead in the eye, and he gives the chair to CM Punk. And the crowd's going wild. Paul has chosen CM Punk. Paul gets into the ring, and he's telling CM Punk, it's time. It's time. He's my best friend. He's my best friend, Tribal Chief. He's my best friend. Hit him. CM Punk goes to hit Roman Reigns. Low blow from Paul Heyman. He would never turn on his Tribal Chief. Roman's laughing. Plan has commenced. It's all come together. Now it's time for Roman to take that chair and finally give the revenge back to Seth Rollins for all this year. Now Seth Rollins is lined up in the perfect position that Roman's always in when Seth hits him.
And Paul is screaming that. Paul is like, it is your time. The Shield. It is your time. Do it to him. Oh.
Roman loads it up. And Paul Heyman gives Roman Reigns a cheap shot, hits him right in the nuts as well. And Seth Rollins.
Then he digs the elbow in.
Digs it in there. And Rollins is stood up and he is looking around and he's smiling. There's always a plan B. It has that exact same feel. And Rollins then sits there, turns, and he puts his hand out like Roman's done so often to Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman hands him the chair. Where Seth Rollins commences on, he hits Punk a couple times, he hits Roman a couple times, he pushes Punk out of the way, he gives, what does he do? He stomps Roman Reigns and pins Roman Reigns. 1, 2, 3.
Paul's like sitting in the corner at this point. Paul's like sitting, and then as he stomps him, as he pins him, Paul walks over and is like doing the same thing. And I'm like, oh my God.
It happened. Not only did Seth Rollins win, but Paul Heyman has double turned on CM Punk, on Roman Reigns. He has chosen Seth Rollins. What the hell does this mean? It was one of the best main events in WrestleMania history, in my opinion. I loved it. Popping it. Golden pop. This might be the best pop we've ever had on the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, it's up there because we didn't do Mania last year.
It's got to be it's got to be this and Cena heel turn.
Yeah, and I honestly, like, I don't know, the impact of this, I'm kind of like, I might be biased a little bit. Yeah. I might put this one above it. It is so good. This is one of those moments that you're just like, you have to go back and watch. Like, as soon as we're done recording and all that stuff tonight, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to get up. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to keep watching it until tomorrow. The repercussions of this, obviously, like, I think they go into tomorrow a little bit. I don't think it's just tonight. The match was phenomenal. Roman was putting in some good work. Punk was putting in some good work. Everybody had their chance to shine. I'm not a triple threat fan. I've said it before. I'll say it again. But when it's done right and it's done like this and there's 3 major primetime players in there, it's cinema. And we knew that this was going to be cinema. We knew there was going to be malarkey and baloney and shenanigans. But I still didn't think they were going to do it. I still didn't think Paul was going to turn on both of them. You know, he comes out and you're like, he's probably going to turn on Punk, right? Like, he sides with Roman. And or maybe, you know, I was a big fan of, like, maybe he can't make a choice. Maybe he loves both of them. I thought maybe he puts the chair in the middle and maybe they fight over the chair and Rollins ends up double stomping and that's how you get it. But to have Paul do that, to have Paul maybe sell his soul, maybe do what's best for business, is just mind blowing. Like it's really, it's really incredible.
It's like 2 knives. When he turned on Roman, when he did the fake turn on Roman, I was like, oh, the end of the wise man. And then he turned on Punk, and I was like, oh, the end of Punk Heyman. And then he turned on Roman for real, and I was like, oh my God, now we have him and Seth Rollins. I think that this leads to tomorrow night. I don't think that that's the end of it. John Cena was mentioning that there will be a moment where Cody has to make a decision where he doesn't even need to be wrestling to beat Cody Rhodes. So maybe Seth Rollins sells out to The Rock as well. Who knows how many hands are in this, because Paul Heyman was obviously in contact with the final boss not too long ago. So things are getting absolutely crazy. Paul Heyman has turned. There's no more wise man, no more best friend. The WWE is on its face. What's happening? Main event was incredible. Wrestling is amazing.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons. This is why you watch wrestling. This is why wrestling is so good. I understand people get upset. I understand people like to complain, right? Like, we get a bad rap, and internet fans get a bad rap. And at the end of the day, like, these are the stories that make wrestling so good. I mean, this is just phenomenal stuff. Like I said, it's hard to really like put into words, and that's only the first night. So who knows what's next? I just know it's crazy that this is the night one main event, and it's like, okay, we have all these expectations. There's no way it can meet all these expectations. And then it still just exceeds the expectations. You know, you look at the Hall of Fame last night, that's maybe a hint, Rollins and Heyman next to each other. I didn't see it. Like, I know a lot of people saw it. I don't know if anybody read too much into that, but good God, it was around us the whole time, I think. I mean, you go back, I'm sure people have dug stuff up. It's mind-blowing.
It seemed too good to be true, and we got it anyways. Absolutely insane. No, you're right. It's just night one. We got a whole nother night to have fun. And speaking of that, we'll be doing the second night of our live stream, which means the night we give away this bad boy, we'll do the raffle spin right before the Cody Rhodes and John Cena match. So stop by youtube.com/@CodWrestlePod to enter into this raffle and have some fun with the great community, because we love every single one of you. Thank you so, so much. But for everything else, @CodWrestlePod, COD WrestlePod, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts, we have a link tree in our bio. You know how it rolls. We got all of our socials there, so go ahead and like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. And we'll see you after night 2 for our night 2 review as well. So enjoy WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Will. That's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. We'll see you next time.